So we have CPI, which stands for Coating Performance Indicator. And if we have this customer which with a painting line, it's a conveyor belt with items hanging, and then they have this robot painting the items. And after that, it goes into an oven. And for this customer, they were very, for them, it's relevant to run the oven afterwards as short time as possible. And meaning this starts in the morning, and at the end of the day, they shut the oven down. And the energy needed to run this oven costs a lot of money these days. So they wanted to make sure, because the conveyor belt is running at a fixed speed through the oven, but they wanted to make sure, are we using utilizing the conveyor belt as efficient as possible. For this customer, we're looking at how they can utilize the conveyor belt as efficient as possible by hanging items as close as necessary, minimizing the gaps between the items, both horizontally and vertically. So this is something they have improved and got impressive numbers that way. And what that means is the closer they can hang the items, the earlier they can shut down the oven at the end of the day. And that's where they're saving a lot of energy. So to do this, they are using the MUR system. When we connect, we're looking at how horizontally items are hanging closely together, vertically also, and we're looking at the time the conveyor is running and the speed it's running at. And the customer have an info screen, like this is their info screen, where they're looking at the speed of the machine, and they're looking at this graph here shows, let's see if we can zoom in. This graph shows the vertical utilization, meaning here we have small items hanging just from the top a little bit, but here we have items hanging all the way through the whole possible vertical paint area. Let's see if and together you can get all this together. You can multiply all these factors together and get the CPI value. And 100% means they are hanging as tightly as possible, and they are filling it up vertically, and the conveyor is always running at the correct speed. But as you see here, you have numbers 38, 29, 34 is quite low, but that's what you get when you multiply too many numbers. But the idea here is that not only do they get this number, they also get the details, the individual components. They can see the gaps when the conveyor is standing still, and they can automatically see gaps when the conveyor is running, but nothing is hanging on the conveyor. For example, it's happened in the beginning, in the morning, but it can happen during the day as well. And then other reason, they report the stop codes just as you do with your MUR system. And this was done with the MUR system, with the MUR-Box and a few optical sensors. So they didn't buy an expensive light wall to measure exactly measurements, but just using 4 sensors, you get enough information to know how you are efficient in density when you're hanging items tight together and so on. And the rest is a customization. I mean, not development, but custom configuration of the current MUR system. So you don't have a paint line yourself, but I want to share the idea that if you have something different you want to measure, it might be possible to do some custom configuration in the MUR-Box and the collection to give you a a different kind of data than you're used to see with the MUR-Box system.